Okay, so King Kodiak87 has commented saying, for the love of Talos, please do something for the Breton. No worries, bro. I got you. Let's get started. My name is Xeptha. Welcome to my video. And here is a build for the Bretons. Now, there is a few things I'm going to talk about afterwards and a few things that I would advise you to change to your own liking. Now, pick the Breton and you want to go to the body type. Pick the male, young and as old as you want. The skin color, you can pick whichever skin color you like. Luckily, this is a face where it suits anything, suits any color. You could be red, it will suit black, white, green, yellow, whatever you want. And this face type will suit you. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with the eyebrows. Essentially, what we want to do is we want to lower the eyebrows to give it like the hunter eyes, the piercing eye look. By lowering it, you're going to give yourself the impression that you have hunter eyes. Yeah, that's exactly why we're going to go for that. So around 75, 77, 73, like, you know, around the 70s, you should be Gucci. But however, you want it to be straight. So if you make it higher up, he's going to look sad, right? It's like, please give me a cookie. You don't want that kind of look, so you want it to be kind of straight. And if anything, a little bit lower, like slightly lower than straight around the middle. You don't want it to be too, like, and you can even go further than this too. Like, you don't want to look too angry, you know? So you want it to be somewhere ideally around here. And the outside, same thing. Because if you increase it, it's going to look like you have wings and you're about to take off. And you don't want that. Eyebrows, I feel like that's pretty much it. You can't really change much. Okay, now we're talking about the cheeks. Now, there's a few settings you can change here. I definitely recommend you to play around with this setting right here and to see much you want your cheekbones and your facial features to stick out. You don't want it to be too sharp like this, right? You don't want to look like the Squidward meme. If you do keep it low, you might still have that there. But if you don't like the look of that, by all means, just increase this just a little bit. And there are other settings too that we can change later on to not make the cheekbones stick out as much. But for now, you can play around with this and leave it to your own liking. I'm going to go ahead and leave mine around here. Although if you do it too much, obviously, then you are going to look like it. But it's not as bad as the other one. So with this, you can definitely keep it a little bit lower while still keeping a good look and a humanly look. So yeah, you don't want to make it, obviously, you can leave in the middle, but ideally I'd recommend you to at least lower it just a tad bit. Great. Now on to the next setting. Cheekbones. You want them high, not too high. Pretty good setting. This is how pushed out your cheekbones are, how prominent they are. So yeah, if you want to have bigger cheekbones, then by all means go for it. We did kind of lower the other settings, so it can still be done even on max settings, but you know, you don't want to look like your ancestors 100 years ago. Sorry, no, 100,000 years ago. Yeah. Play around with it, see what you like, keep it like that. This is a very weird setting. I don't know why this is in the game, but we're just going to go ahead and leave this at 0. We don't want to really touch this. This is perfectly fine where it's at. Now, next up, we are going to go for the chin. As always, with the I should probably take off the facial hair. Yeah, I should probably take off you guys don't know what the chin looks like. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, with the chin... yeah, let's just leave the mustache. Sure, why not? With the chin, I like on my meals, I like keeping the chin, even on females, to be honest, to be sticking out just a little bit, you know, just to be sticking out just a little bit. I don't know, it just gives you a better face shape. I just like doing this for the chins. If you don't, then you can leave it on 0. But yeah, this pretty much changes the same thing, like how forward or how back the chin is. So like I said, I want it kind of forward and out, so that's why we're going to go ahead and leave it on 40. Around the 40 should be good. Now, shallow or deep. Now, this is, look around the neck, right? So this is going to how far back your chin is or how deep it is, right? So if you make it shallow, as you can see, your chin is pulled back and your lips are kind of messed up. So you definitely don't want to do that. So yeah, you kind of want to leave this around the middle too. Ideally more deep than anything, but you don't want it too deep to the point where you look like a lizard from the side. The thing is with characters on this game is the chin is already large, so we don't need to have a super gigantic chin. But it is possible, like, you still don't look completely horrible. Honestly, some of the characters I've seen on this game look like the stuff out of my nightmares, and it is just horrible. So chin's already big naturally, so you don't really want to make it any bigger, to be honest. So that's why I kind of left it at 0. Same thing with this, and if anything, I actually lowered the size of it because naturally, like, the chin already, like, that is a pretty big chin. I have like look how big you can make this chin. Look how wide that is. Even this is super wide. Like, most people I see in real life have a chin with the size of like around, you know, no one's out here really rocking a chin this big, but it suits this character's face, so that is exactly why I'm gonna keep it. So yeah, if you want to make it smaller though, you can make it a tad bit smaller too. Definitely no harm being done there. Now let's talk about the eyes. I moved it up slightly. It's going to help out with the hunter eye look just a little bit. You know, you can leave it on 0 too. You're barely going to see the difference between 6 and 0 anyway. You don't want to do it too much. Obvious reason. Sure, you look like you have hunter eyes, but yeah, you can leave it on like 14, 10 or whatever. Now you want to make your eyes a little bit larger, regardless of if you're making a female or a male. Bigger eyes makes you look better overall. You don't want it too big. You don't want to look like a lizard. Tilt, don't touch. Just leave it. Apart or together. I kind of put it a little bit together because when when it was apart, it looked like he's got a slight case of the cross-eyed syndrome, and I don't know. Yeah, so that's why I kind of left it a little bit in, you know, together. By all means, you can leave it at 0, but like even at 0, it still felt like it was a little bit too apart for me, so I'm gonna leave it around like 7. Now the face we didn't touch here. Now here's the thing, if you don't want your jawline and your cheekbones and everything to stick out a lot, by all means you can add some face fat to it. This is also gonna add to your face fat and it's not gonna make you look nice, but then again, okay, don't get me wrong, we also don't want to look like a testicle like a dried up testicle. So for example, if we go super light onto all of this, right, you're just gonna look like a scroll. It's like a shrinked up cut. This isn't what you want, okay? This is definitely not what you want. Like, even this, like, this could work too. It's not horrible, it's not bad. It just depends on how much you want your facial features to stick out, you know? And that is exactly why I'm going to tell you to pay attention to this page and to edit a lot into this page and to see a face that you're comfortable with. Because remember, guys, once you create your character, you cannot make another character ever again. So, especially if you're on console, like me. So, PC players can obviously just edit their player whenever they want, but you can still make it wider. It'll still work perfectly fine. If you don't want to look squished, and if you don't want your, you know, your features to stick out as much as they are, then sure, go for it. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at like -20. Forehead, kind of do have a big forehead on this game, so that is exactly why I shrunk it just a little bit. Not that much of a big difference, but yeah, that's what we did for the forehead. Now for the jaw, pretty much just a little bit pushed out, tad bit. You can leave it on 0, you won't notice the difference. Made it a bit wider to have a strong jawline, to make it, you know, out there and sticking out. We don't want it to be thin. Thinner is technically a bit more feminine. We want this guy to look very masculine, as you can tell by his serious mustache. And this is your neck slope. So basically, okay, so same place where the chin was. So as you can see, you don't want this, right? Doesn't look attractive at all. So the lower you make this, the more prominent and the more clean your jawline is going to be. However, you don't want it to be too much. If you do it too much, as always, you will be looking like a lizard from the side. Like, look at that. Like, you can actually stab someone with this jawline and chin. So you don't want that at all. So you want it to be around, like, you know, 25, 30, 10. Maybe 10's a bit low, but yeah, 25 and 30 should be good. And we left this at 52. Now, to the mouth, we didn't really change much. We kind of just increased this to 12. The underbite, we changed it to 10. And the deflated or inflated, we kind of inflated the lips a little bit. The reason for that is because the lips on this game are very small, and majority of people, majority of the characters you make on this game are going to have very tiny lips naturally. So you want to increase it just a tad bit. Yeah, we made it a little bit larger too, and that is about it. If you want, you could, you know, shrink the lips just a tad. If you think that these are pretty big lips, you can make it, you know, instead of 37, you can make it 20. Instead of 20, you can make it 10. Just lower it down equally, and if you take away 10 from this, take away 10 from this as well, and you should be good. Now the nose, I kind of played around a lot with. You can make a more masculine nose. It had a very masculine nose at the start, so I did change it a lot. Yeah, you can definitely make a more masculine nose if you make the nose bridge stick out more, and if you make it a little bit bigger and stick out just you know, a bigger nose in general, and that'll make it a little bit more masculine. You can also change the tilt. Instead of making it tilt upwards like I did, you know, the tip of the nose, you can make it tilt a bit downwards. That'll give it a more masculine effect too. So if you want a super masculine nose. Right, and that brings me to the end of the character customization. If you do want to stick around to hear me ramble along, feel free to stick around. If not, if you don't, that's completely fine. Just make sure you do show the love and support to this video before you do leave. And if you do want to see another character creation, please do let me know down below. Great, with all that being said, now let's talk about the skin tones and what you can change. Now, if you don't like this super pale skin tone, what you can do is go to the skin tint and change it to this. You just have more warmth in this color here instead of the super pale white man skin. If you don't want you know, like a super white Polish looking guy, you can have a bit more color to your skin. I don't know, just to add a little bit more warmth to your skin tone, you know. You still look white, it's just, yeah, more warm. There's other skin tones here too. It's just this one I feel like you look a bit more yellow, and I'd rather the natural one, you know, than just looking like you're ill. This looks like someone who's on their deathbed, who's gonna die. That's the exact same skin tone that they would have. Don't ask me how I know that. So yeah. So yeah, we can go with the skin tone too. Great. Now let's talk about the freckles. Why I added the freckles. I got freckles in real life, so that's why I'm gonna add some freckles. I want to have freckles. Yeah, and now the makeup and the lips. You don't really have much makeup options in this game, unfortunately. I'm saying unfortunately because I tried to make a female character, and it's just, honestly, females are so ugly on this game. Jesus Christ. Like, I'd rather look at the girls in the UK, and that says something. Like, I'd rather look at the girls in the UK than looking at people's female character creations in this abomination of a game. honestly. Right, now let's talk about the eyeshadows. The eyeshadows, you can have an eyeshadow. The thing is, Vikings also use these eyeliners or the eyeshadow colors or whatever you want to call this. I don't know, I'm not good with makeup. I've never used makeup myself, so whatever. It's called eyeshadow, but I'm pretty sure this is an eyeliner. I don't know why they're calling it an eyeshadow. Whatever. Here's what it is. Vikings have also used eyeliners as well, so don't think, you know, don't be insecure. Don't feel like, oh, why would I use an eyeliner? That's gay. That's this. Listen, Vikings used it. People have used it in the past. And even Jack Sparrow uses it. You can use it. It will make you look dark. It will make you look a bit more evil. It will add a bit more. Where's the dreads hairstyle? Is that just for the Nord? Oh, I feel like that's just for the Nords have like a dreadlock hairstyle which would suit this character's face quite a lot, but I don't think it's actually here. But regardless, as you can see, yeah, like you could imagine this guy being a Viking. Now, as for the hairstyles, what I'd recommend, obviously it's completely up to you on how you want to play, but this hairstyle is actually pretty good. I like this hairstyle quite a lot. Slick back also works well with this character. It's a bit too man, right? This guy's already got a super serious manly face, heavy jawline. You know, we don't want it to be extreme. You know, and you can tell if this guy drinks a sip of alcohol, he's gonna start being around all the women in the town. So we don't want to look like this guy. This guy looks horrible. So we want to look a little bit younger. That is exactly why I'm gonna go with this hairstyle. I really do like this hairstyle, but then again, you can go with whichever hairstyle that you like. And don't forget, you can also change the length of the hairstyle that you have chosen. So yeah, like for example, I could even go with this. This works perfectly fine for my character too. I just like that when it's long, it's quite messy and it's quite, like, you know, scruffy. So that's what I like about it. So I won't make it too long, but I think I'll keep it around here. Now, facial hair suits a lot on this character too. You know, there's pretty good facial hairs that do suit. For example, this one, you know, this one. It's up to you. Choose whichever one you like. This one's also pretty good. It makes your jawline look very, very good, especially your side profile, like once you use this. But even this, you know, even this shows your jawline. Looks good. Just go with whatever you want, ideally, as long as it's not one of the Taliban looking ones, you know. Jesus Christ, we got fucking Abraham Lincoln here. Yeah, I mean, if you want, you know, go for it. Sure, it's completely up to you. Ugh, like even this looks good. It's kind of similar to how I cut my beard in real life. Yeah, it has to be this one. I like the mustache. This one would have been better, but it looks weird. It looks like someone's taking a shit across my mouth. It doesn't look like a beard to me. It doesn't look like a mustache. Yeah, that's too much. I'm gonna go with this for sure. And it's such a shame how I can't edit my character once I create it. The only options I have for the beard is gonna be this one, or this one, or this one. So these two are pretty similar. I'm going to go ahead and decide on one of these two. And I think I've decided on this one out of those two. Now I just need to decide on this one or that one. I feel like I'm going to go for this one. I mean, I can leave it clean as well, but nah, it's too much. It's like I'm going to star in a porno movie or something. I don't like an 80s porn movie. I don't want this. Damn, it's actually quite tricky. You see, from the side, this looks very good. This looks clean. It depends on what you want. Do you want to look clean or do you want to slightly look manly and a little bit homeless, you know? Oh, yeah. What if I get bored of the mustache? That's what I'm worried about now. What if I don't want to have the mustache anymore? It's like, if it bothers me, I'm screwed. I have to create a new character again. Here's the thing. If I use this beard, the mustache ain't gonna bother me that much because it looks like it's part of the beard, right? But if I use this beard, the mustache might bother me. Choices. Okay. Alright, fuck it, we're going with this, fuck it. Now you can change your eye color, you can change your hair color to whatever you want. The thing is, just with me, with every single character I make, I always give them my eyes. So yeah, it's just a trait that I have with all my characters. The thing is, this blue color doesn't look like a realistic blue color. The green looks good. This green looks good. These other greens, they look like lizardy eyes. It's too vibrant. This green actually looks pretty good. So does this green. It does suit the character as well with the skin tone that we gave it. But I believe that is it. This is my character. I hope you liked it. If you did, you know what to do. Show the love, show the support. If you do want more help and if you do want more character designs, please do let me know and I'll get onto it as fast as I can. I don't think there's anything more I could talk about. I mean, we already selected the hair as well, right? I mean, there's other haircuts as well. Like if you want to go for it, sure, go for it. It'll suit the face as well, you know? There's a lot of haircuts that will suit this face. You can even go for like the long hair with this if you want to look like Tarzan. Another thing I'd recommend you to do is to stay here and look at your character for like 10 minutes and just make sure you keep saying yes, this is good, yes, this is good, and agree with it every single time. Because remember, if you create a game and you don't like your character later on down the line, you cannot do anything about it. And I would hate to look at a face that I don't like looking at, like, or that doesn't resemble my style or anything, you know? I'm actually pretty happy with it. I think this might be better than my last character creation. I'll let you guys decide. But yeah, that's my Breton build. If you want to see a Nord build, you can go ahead and check out my other video. But yeah, that is it from me. Take care.